Hey everybody, in this video we are going to solve the equation we see in front of us. Now, if I had to guess, this denominator is already prime, this denominator is already prime, and if I had to guess, I would guess that if I factor this denominator, it would factor to yellow times pink. Just putting it out there, like, is it always? No, but like a good portion of the time. So let's look at this. 2y times y is 2y squared, so that's my first term, okay. Outer 2y minus 5y is negative 3y, and last times last, yep. So there we go, right? So we'll have y over, it was 2y minus 5 and y plus 1 minus 3 over 2y minus 5 equals y over y plus 1. I know I don't really need these parentheses really, but better safe than sorry. And just color coordinating. Okay, so I have a rational equation. When you have a rational equation, we're going to turn it into a lovely, lovely polynomial, and we'll factor and solve our cute polynomial instead, right? So what does that give me? That means I'm going to draw parentheses around all of it, okay? And I'm going to multiply both sides by the lowest common denominator. In this case, again, 2y minus 5 and y plus 1. I'm being a little lazy, and I just wrote it once, and I drew parentheses around the whole thing. Maybe not the most proper way to do it, but time is money. Let's keep it moving. So if I distribute that over to this first part, right, this part here, 2y minus 5 and y plus 1 cross out, and I'm just left with y minus, the 3 is still there, 2y minus 5 crosses out, and y plus 1 will get multiplied by the 3, equals y plus 1's cross out, that y is already up there, and it'll get multiplied by 2y minus 5. So most of it crossed out. One of them came along for the ride right there, and one of them is right there, right? And basically, what else can we say? This y is right here, right? And the 3 is right there. We even say minus 3 like that. And last one, let's say this y right there and equals y. Okay, so now what kind of equation am I dealing with? Well, now I'm dealing with a polynomial. Maybe before I forget though, let's state any restrictions. Based on my denominators, y cannot equal, what is it, -1, and y cannot equal 5 over 2, before we forget, you know? So those are my restrictions, because we have to check for extraneous solutions, right? Okay, y minus 3y minus 3, distribute properly, okay? Equals 2y squared minus 5y. Now, definitely a polynomial, definitely quadratic. 2y squared is my leading term, essentially, so I'm going to bring everything to the right side. 0, we always want to get it equal to 0, right? So we could factor and solve. So we got 2y squared. Now, negative 5y minus y plus 3y plus 3. So negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6, plus 3 is negative 3y plus 3. All right, now I have a quadratic, very lovely. And can I factor to solve? AC method. AC, 2 times 3 is 6. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. What gives me 3 in the middle? Womp womp. Neither, right? I did that right though, right? Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Yeah, that's correct. Minus 3y, add 3y. Yes. Yeah, I just want to make sure I didn't make any careless errors. Okay, so quadratic formula it is. Quadratic formula. Now, normally, quadratic formula, you would do x equals negative b. In this case, it's y, because that's my variable. So I'm going to get y equals negative b plus and minus the square root. B squared minus, you got to memorize it. No one's going to give it to you. b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, I guess I don't want to recycle any of these colors, so let's just use a is 2, right? B is -3, and trying to use any colors, repeat. Okay, I know these colors are kind of close to each other, right? And C, right? Yeah. Okay, so A, B, and C. So I'm going to go ahead and fill them in to the quadratic formula. Y equals +3 plus and minus the square root. B squared is B squared would be -3 squared like this. So it's always going to be positive, whether it's negative or positive. So it's 9 minus 4ac all over 2a. And then let's see, 3 plus minus the square root of 4 times 2 is 8 times 3 is 24. So 9 minus 24. What does it mean? Side quest right now, because we got to know the rules for this. First of all, what is it called? What do we call the expression that we put under our radical? Do we remember what that's called? No, I already used that color highlighter. Lavender, I guess. Lavender it is. What do we call this? This in the quadratic formula specifically. Do we remember what that's called? B squared minus 4ac is called the discriminant. Do you remember what it does? If it is greater than 0, it means you have two real and rational. Well, no, don't listen to that. Two real solutions. If it equals 0, we get one real solution because you're doing plus and minus 0. Square root of 0 is 0. Square root of greater than 0 means positive. So square root of positive, you get an actual answer. You get plus a number, minus a number, you get two different real solutions. And if it's less than 0, we get two imaginary solutions. Okay? Boom, boom. So I already know I'm going to have two imaginary solutions right now because I definitely have a negative under my radical. Y equals 3 plus minus the square root of, so 9 minus 24 is -15 all over 4. I'm not cut off on the screen, right? Right. Okay. And then if I clean it up just a hair more, 3 plus minus I root 15 all over 4. So those are my two real solutions. Again, the thing under the radical is called the discriminant. I just want to make sure I'm not going to use the same color. Again, I don't know what to do for highlighter. How's this? Two imaginary solutions. And that's it. I don't know if you can read that, but hopefully you were listening. And that's everything on this one. Kind of a long journey, but that's it. We got less than 10 minutes. All right. Questions or comments, let me know. Always simplify a radical. And you can't reduce this 4 on bottom unless it reduces there and there. Like it has to reduce with the number here and the number that ends up in front of the radical, and you don't touch the number in the radical. Okay? Don't forget. That's it for now. thumbs up, high five, adios.